Oh, this is gorgeous. Would you look at... Anyway, welcome back to the channel, everybody. Look at this. Now, before I even say what the model is and everything, I tell you what's interesting. Get the shell off. Oh, look at that. Anyway, what do you notice? Do you remember the last SCX car I did on my channel? Right over there, it said Scalextric. It's no longer there. It's all about SCX. Now, I wonder why that is. Well, in my little mind, and I'm not going to go on about this, I'll just take 30 seconds to say this, and then I'll move on. Right, so, that last SCX car I did that had Scalextric on it, I think that's when they were still married, the two companies. They were going through a divorce, a separation, whatever, but now they're finally divorced. And now it's 100% pure, unadulterated SCX. Scale competition extreme. Right, let's concentrate on the elephant in the room. This is the SCX
Chevrolet
Corvette C6R Skull. What a thing of beauty. Now you're probably wondering, whenever I do show a real life, real world clip, I show you the real version. You probably noticed that I showed you something that wasn't quite the same. Reason being, this is almost very much bespoke in the real world. Now, so obviously the car itself, very much real. But this whole skull thing, it was kind of a one-off on a particular track day.
The Jake mascot represents a continuous, take-no-prisoners attitude that the Corvette racing team embraces. Designer Eddie Jabber attended a race which prompted him to put together a more specific design for the team. He drew the Corvette flags on a napkin and included a skull around it, and upon the team's acceptance of this unofficial mascot, Jake was born.
That's interesting, and I'm so glad that SCX saw it fit to replicate that beauty for us slot car lovers. And look at this. This is gorgeous.
Do you know how I like to keep it real with you? As I continue my journey into the wonderful world of slot cars, one thing I have noticed, that you can buy a brand new slot car, so never used, as in not second hand or anything like that, but if that slot car has been out for many years or has been sat in a slot car shop or warehouse for many years, sometimes this happens. Look closely. Can you see the splits in the tyres? Can you see the discoloration on the helmet and elsewhere? Very interesting. But apart from that, this car is gorgeous.
Right, quick disclaimer. If you look at the wing at the back, if you're wondering why it's not as shiny as the car, it's because when I got this, I noticed something. They actually, SCX, the manufacturers of this, they put the same similar wrap that you've got on the main body over the wing. But guess what? The wing is made of rubber. Can you see that? I don't know if yeah, there you go. Look, it's made of rubber. And parts of it didn't adhere correctly and it just looked wrong, so I took it off. So that's why you're getting a very matte looking rear wing. I like to be honest with you. Now, one of the main reasons that I needed to have one of these in my collection is, of course, it's a Corvette C6R. Who doesn't love them? But this deep, rich black with that very nice sort of silvery skull there, and right here, I love that bit of livery there, take no prisoners. I love all of that. And this whole skull theme, it's not exclusive to the motor world. On my other channel, I've got a massive channel, another one that I've taken a break from. Sometimes some of the products that I review on there, they appear with the skull too. In this configuration, in this colour, with this livery, I think this is my favourite Corvette C6R slot car that I have ever seen to date. Now for this scene, I've decided to just dim the studio lighting a bit so you can appreciate how gorgeous this black bodywork is. If you look really closely there, you can see a checkered flag, and on the other side, the Chevrolet flag. Very nice. How awesome and menacing does the skull look right there on the hood? Anyway, if we look through the windscreen, right there, look, you can see the roll cage, you can see the steering wheel, the dashboard. Looks pretty decent. And I'm loving that huge sun shield with the beautiful red background and the white Corvette going across. Loving how SCX has also executed the windscreen wiper. You notice it's a decent size. Sometimes you get certain slot cars from another manufacturer that used to be married to this brand. The windscreen wipers are always very chunky and overly fat. Not this one. This one looks decent. Cool, blimey, governor. It should be illegal for a car to look this good. Anyway, so from above, again, I'm loving the simplicity of this livery, okay? So once again, you see that menacing looking skull on the front. You see the Chevrolet logo right there. And if you look closely, I'm loving the detail here. Can you see that? Nice. So, quick look on the other side, pretty much replicated from what you've already seen, but I'd just like to point out once again the gorgeous silvery livery that you've got right there, and the detail just down the bottom there, at the bottom of that door. The exhaust pipes, very nice. Okay, so a quick look underneath, and I just love how neat and perfect underneath the chassis looks on an SCX car. Right there you can see an inline motor, you can see the magnets, of course that's your blade, your braids, and I must say, you notice there's pretty decent detail on the inside of the car, and yet they still managed to put an inline motor. I'm not taking a dig at the other brand that I love dearly, because there's a difference. With the other brand I love dearly, if inside the cockpit detail is important to you, you will know that more often than not, you will get legs. You will get other bits of detail, other bits of stuff that you wouldn't get in other slot cars, okay? So that's why quite often you will get a side winding motor with that other brand. But with this one, and when I open it, you'll see this, even though you've got the driver there and what looks like the seat and everything, it's only partially done. You're only getting a bit of the torso, and then there's nothing left of the body. No legs, no nothing, okay? Which gives them enough room to slap in an inline motor system. Right, you know what's going to happen next. Let's just do it. Here we are in the mechanic's garage. Let's take a look under the hood, as it were. And yes, once again, and I'm going to say this, I'm going to call it, everything is just so neat and professionally done. And again, you can tell, mainly because of how this has been constructed. But if you look at the bushings and everything, metal, very nice. And again, that right there, that contraption, that is like that. Because your lighting system, and this is what I love about SCX, the lighting system is in the top, look, in the shell. And as I showed you in my previous SCX slot car, it's these points right there that makes contact with the circuitry in the chassis. Right here, look.